It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. Tuesday evening, October 3rd. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude oil, S&P, Nasdaq, gold, and euro tonight. Crude is bearish with a spike in range, so we're looking for selling opportunities on the way down to those range lows and vice versa, going back up to range highs tomorrow. The S&P is bullish as it continues its grind to new all-time highs, so our plan is to look for a two-legged pullback down in the battle zone tomorrow. The Nasdaq is also bullish, but this time with a wide, almost flat channel tonight, which tells us that both sides are making money right now in this market, and we need to focus on buying those deep dips on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, gold is bearish with a spike in channel, and we have a rising support trend line telling us where the two most reliable trading opportunities will be tomorrow's session. And of course, don't forget the euro is bullish after the bears got rejected below prior month lows, and this spike in channel is giving us a perfect battle zone to use for buying opportunities on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, I got a great plan for tomorrow's session. Got a great newsletter in store for you guys and gals tonight. We'll check the calendar, we'll check the charts in just a moment. And I got a great plan for you guys for Wednesday's session. Before we jump in, though, I do want to remind you the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is here on our blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, not to worry, there's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link inside of YouTube. Come join me here on the blog at Sideways Markets and grab the full-length version of our nightly newsletter. While you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list. I'll send you an email every evening when our nightly newsletter goes live. Follow me on social, lower left-hand corner, whether you follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever your favorite flavor of choice. Make sure you follow me throughout the week for charts, links, and updates throughout the week. And of course, speaking of charts, how easy is this? All the charts in tonight's video, you can download those charts right where that link is below the video tonight. And then of course, in the upper right-hand corner, don't forget to grab your free pass. Once you're done watching this video tonight with me here in the newsletter, make sure you grab that free pass. Come out and join me this week as a guest in the trade room. You're going to learn more with me on that free pass for free, right, than you will anywhere else on the interwebs for any paid membership sites out there. So make sure you grab that free pass before you finish up the day today. And don't forget, if you have any questions, I'm always here to help. I've got live support tools on the right-hand side of my blog and my website. I'm always here to help. If you guys need any help along the way, hit me up on live support. Let's keep going here. I had a great day today. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. We're only as good as our next day's session, though. Let's get ready for Wednesday. Now, of course, anytime I think about a Wednesday, I always think about the inventory report. So, of course, tomorrow, for all you oil traders out there, you know that's one of my favorite markets. Oil, of course, the weekly inventory report is every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This tells me a couple different things for tomorrow. First of all, 10 a.m. Eastern Time is pretty much your unofficial cutoff. I always set my alarm for 10:15. I'm kind of an optimist. I think I'm going to find something there between 10 o'clock and 10:15. Most important thing, though, is after 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday mornings, if you're trading crude oil, you really got to have a good reason to be trading. Usually the volume dries up so much ahead of that weekly inventory report that it becomes very difficult to trade that market. Talking about crude oil, of course, specifically. The second thing I want to remind you is that this evening we heard from the API report. That API report gave us a nice shot in the arm ahead of tomorrow's session. I'm going to use that API report to project levels of support and resistance into tomorrow's session. If you'd like to get your hands on those support and resistance levels, you can find them below the video tonight on our blog. Just scroll down. There's a link that says click here to read more. Follow that link and you'll see the full text, right, of our nightly newsletter. I also sent out all of those support and resistance levels for tomorrow to all of my social media channels as well. So you follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn, right? You got those in your inbox as well this afternoon. So two things for tomorrow. 10 a.m. Eastern Time is the hot number tomorrow for crude oil traders. So get to it early, or you've got to wait until the news comes and goes, right, and then trade over lunch. And also, too, don't forget about those support and resistance levels, right, projected expecting for tomorrow's session. I sent them out to my social feed, and of course they're on the blog. Just scroll down below that video. So that takes care of the big news tomorrow for oil traders. What else do we have? Well, as you can see, there's not much here in the overnight session, so we're not going to worry about that too much for the overnight Asian session. There's a peppering, as you can see, of news tomorrow morning in London. We've got, of course, news at 3:50, 55, 4 o'clock, 4:30, right, and 5 o'clock. So plenty of news hitting the tape tomorrow morning. That will likely get the markets moving and shaking if you plan on trading the overnight London session. If you're with me tomorrow morning in the trade room, we, of course, open up our trade room every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, we have a little bit of minor stuff here. We get the ADP employment report tomorrow at 8:15. Not expecting much of a movement off that. We get the ISM manufacturing at 10 a.m. Although I do expect 10 a.m. to always be a volatile time of the morning session, I don't expect that non-manufacturing index to move the needle very much. Remember, we always talk about that 10 o'clock shock, right? That 10 o'clock top of the hour, we oftentimes see, right, that movement of the needle there at 10 a.m. as well. And then, of course, again, you guys on the plan, right, for the inventory report tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We are going to start shifting tomorrow afternoon into non-farm Friday. Just you got to have a heads up on this. The first Friday of every 1 month is non-farm Friday. So as of tomorrow night's newsletter, we'll start talking more about the employment number on Friday. But we should be all good to go here for tomorrow. Shouldn't see that impact us too badly here tomorrow until Thursday and Friday of this week. Let's jump into some charts here. Got some interesting charts here for tonight, right? Definitely some great opportunities for tomorrow, but a lot of it's going to require some patience on our part. Crude oil first. We'll go crude oil, S&P, Nasdaq, gold, and we'll wrap up with the euro this evening. Crude is bearish with a spike in range ahead of tomorrow's weekly inventory report, which tells us to look for selling opportunities on the way down to the range low and then look for buying opportunities going back up to the range high. The big variable for tomorrow is the weekly inventory report. Comes out at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which tells us to get to it early, right? 10 a.m. is that round number we're watching for tomorrow, and it also tells us that really anything is possible. So we're bearish for now, but we're keeping our eyes and our minds open for buying opportunities if we do get a reversal off the lows. Remember, inventory reports, historically, we tend to see more full trend reversals before the news comes out on Wednesday morning. So right now, we're definitely bearish, but do not be surprised if we see some shenanigans tomorrow morning before that news comes out. You know, not a lot has changed from last night's newsletter. We still have that strong move down, right? That kind of sideways movement around that prior week low. If you're with us today in the trade room, we had this nailed as a range-bound day. We're looking for buying, selling, right, back and forth around that range. So because we didn't get a real strong trend out of the day today, I'm going to go right back and continue, right, with the plan we had from last night's newsletter, and that is to use this spike and range. We had a great shot there earlier on this morning for the sellers, right, to sell off of that high, right, up around the top of that range we talked about from last night, and now we assume they're hunting for that low. This is where things get a little bit interesting. As I zoom in a little bit closer to our chart here, don't forget we do have those inventory support and resistance levels for Wednesday. One of those levels, of course, right, we're right around right now for the 09 and 49.90, right? We got some levels here waiting as support below. So because we know the objective, as again, kind of repeating myself from last night's newsletter, because we know the objective from last night is to go back down and retest 50.07, we have to be very careful now to try to sell too low. And anytime I find myself in a position where the only option is to sell low, I then start looking for failures and traps up above the moving average. So right off the bat, I can see there's not much profit left, right? There's not a lot of reward. There's not a lot of reward left for really the amount of risk that needs to be taken right now. I've done plenty of videos on this on our YouTube channel and on our blog at Sideways Markets about using risk reward, right, to anticipate where the best trades are going to be. The key is you have to know where the objective is. So, right, so if you scroll back out again, big strong move down, we know the objective was two-legged correction and then back down to retest the low. So the target is back down at that 50.07. We are very close to that target right now. So assuming this price doesn't just jackknife ahead of tomorrow's inventory report, which I'm telling you is a definite possibility, we'll have to wait and see what happens, obviously. But obviously the reality is tomorrow's inventory report makes anything possible. But the most important thing right now is the risk is really not worth the reward. So what I'd like to do is get to the point where I can have a lot more reward without as much risk, right? I'd like to get to a point where I have a lot more reward than I have risk. And of course, you can see that quick illustration, that gives me an idea of where I want to now be looking for that tradable opportunity. So as we go higher here, I want to get, really the key is get back above the moving average, right? Getting back above the moving average allows us for either a trap high, into a failure, then into a pullback, right? Back down we go, right? So I'm looking for a trap high. That'll be the most aggressive, into a buyer failure, right? Buyers try to hold the pullback and they fail, that good old M pattern on the way back down. And then of course we have the pullback back to that moving average, going back down to retest that low. Now, once we do get back down to retest that low, the low, okay, we'll probably see the sellers try one more time, right? So trap high and back down from there. That'll be another, right? Be another opportunity there. So assume we do go back down, retest that low, then we're looking for, right, that second attempt. But after that second attempt, that's when we really have to see one of two things, either rejection, and we'll start buying on the way back up, or, right, continuation. And of course, by that time tomorrow, we'll probably know more about what the news looks like. We'll probably have a lot more information, right? Maybe looking for a new bear channel, right, coming down. Oops, sorry, bear channel coming down. There we go. Let's get that. There you go. Right, bear channel coming down, and we can use that bear channel, right, for selling opportunities going back from there. So most important thing right now is just, again, knowing that the objective is down to that 50.07. I don't want to be a seller into it. I want to get up so I can sell high rather than selling low. Also, don't forget, one try, two try, right? This trading range, we could easily tomorrow morning, after seeing that strong move down, looking then for traps and failures to get that second attempt to go lower, right? Then of course being able to use that reversal off of that low. Maybe we get some help from the news tomorrow morning, late in the morning, right? And we get that move back up to that range high. So again, as we look a little bit bigger picture here, we're trying to get back down to that low, focus on selling high, right, on our way back down to that low. If we do finish off the move down to that low, look for that trap for the second attempt, right? That second attempt, though, make sure you're aware, that'll be the two-try rule, and then we're looking for that move back up into that range. If they do get the two-try rule and buyers start stepping in, right, below the low of that range, where's their target? Their target will be back up to retest that 50.72, right? It's just range rotation. That's all it is, right? Range rotation. Low to the high, high to the low, low to the high. So right now, short-term selling opportunities down to those lows, but that's when we got to take a time out. Don't sell into those lows. Then we're looking for that two-try rule to start being a buyer off of those lows, back up, right, to retest the high. Now, again, it's a bear market right now. We get news tomorrow morning, so we're keeping our eyes and our minds open as far as what the news brings tomorrow after 10 a.m. How do we turn bullish? What does it take to turn bullish here? Well, one would be one, two try, right, and then failure back up. That'd be one buying opportunity there for the bulls tomorrow. If we don't go back to that low, though, we'd have to see some strength, pullback, and strength. Hold that pullback to the moving average. Show us you mean it with some strength here going higher. That will give us the confidence we need to be a buyer tomorrow. Anytime the market is bearish, it doesn't turn bullish when the bears fail. It turns bullish when the bulls take control. And how do they take control? Strength. Strength going higher. Hold the pullback. Strength continuing. Strength, pullback, strength. That'll turn us into a bull market. And if we do get that bull market tomorrow, same thing I talked about from last night's newsletter, Don't forget this weekly range we came out of last week, right? That becomes an easy magnet for us back up around that 51.5 area for tomorrow. So again, weekly inventory report, big question mark for tomorrow. We'll be in our trade room tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Hope to see you there, and we'll trade this plan together. Boy, oh boy, that S&P is bullish, continues here on the S&P with its perma bull run to all-time highs. A stingy sucker right now without much more than small traps and small pullbacks along the way. Now, obviously, I would love to see a deep pullback into the battle zone on the S&P tomorrow, but as I mentioned in last night's newsletter, if we continue to see this stingy price action grinding higher, our best option is to continue looking for those short-term traps and buy with a target going back up to retest the high. Well, guys, got a great plan for tomorrow's session. It's a hump day session tomorrow, right, as we go into this first full week of the month of October. That means we got inventories tomorrow morning, so get at it early. Don't forget to download those charts and have them ready for tomorrow's session. And while I have a couple more minutes of your attention, if you're on the YouTube channel right now, don't forget there's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link in the description. Come here to the website at schooloftrade.com. Join our free trial. You are going to absolutely love our free trial. I'll shoot you an invite to come out and join me on your free pass to attend the trade room. Right, you'll learn all about the who, what, where, when, and why we trade here at School of Trade. And don't forget, we got a great beginner, intermediate, and advanced course here at School of Trade. If you think I give you a wealth of knowledge on this free newsletter, imagine what you're going to learn with me every day when I get my hands on you in our interactive classes, our beginner, intermediate, and advanced course. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about tonight or how to get started with our free trial, don't forget we've got live support on the right-hand side of the website. I'm excited to answer all your questions. My name is Joseph. Hope you've had a great week with us so far. Hope to see you tomorrow morning in the trade room. And don't forget, we'll do it again tomorrow evening, same time, same place. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will you? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.